For several months, we've been profiling candidates running for upcoming elections. They're on the ballots as Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and Libertarians. But a group you won't see on the ticket is the Tea Party. Yet, it promises to affect midterm elections and change Washington's future. Tonight, Sam Brock profiles a Mosley mom who volunteers for the Virginia Tea Party cause. It's our special report.
It's sunrise at the Radke home on a warm September day.
I still get snack.
And inside at the breakfast table,
I was hanging on the hook.
Jamie Radke oversees the regular morning routine.
Here you go, Luke.
Pouring cereal for the kids and screening lunches for foreign items.
Look at all this candy getting here.
The 36-year-old mom from Mosley has many roles.
Tell me again what presentation you're doing.
She's part adoring caretaker, part instructor.
Let's say the timeline leading up.
And oh yes, part organizer as well.
You're emailing Luke Dobbs right now?
Yeah.
This shall not stand.
Radke's latest efforts, the Virginia Tea Party Patriot Convention, drew close to 3,000 people. She serves as chairman of the state's Tea Party Federation and is a self-described every mom, part of a group Radke says is helping propel the fledgling movement.
People are losing their jobs, and that's the government causing that. And they're buying General Motors, and parents are trying to make ends meet. And that's when you get moms up in a roar, when they feel like you're going to impact their children's ability to thrive.
Fellow organizers like Mark Skoda, National Tea Party co-founder, have praised the efforts of women like Radke.
Jamie Radke is an extraordinary leader. They are the ones that sort of nurture our society, nurture our families to a large degree. And they're nurturing this movement and leading this movement in a way that we have not seen the men do.
I really love what Jamie Radke's done, the entire organization.
But sit in on a local chapter meeting.
For years, we allowed things to go on and we did not stand up. Well, now we've stood up and we're never going to sit down again.
And you'll see the Tea Party movement has touched a far wider base than just moms. Members say they face a number of misperceptions.
We're not racist, we're not bigots.
The media portrays us as full of fear and hate with nothing positive to offer.
Ignorant, troublemakers, racists, violent people.
But Tea Partiers refute the charge they harbor prejudice.
When Jamie Radke asked me to come and get involved, her purpose was that she wanted the minorities to be involved. She didn't want it to be all white movement.
Or that they aren't always informed about the political process.
One of the things that's incredibly fascinating about the Tea Party movement is how many people are walking around with the Constitution in their purse or in their back pocket, that are reading the Constitution and that are having these philosophical discussions about what the Founding Fathers meant in Federalist Paper number 54.
Learn how to answer the questions and not just be for freedom, but explain why freedom is best for everybody and why it produces prosperity and peace.
I think everyone in this room senses the enthusiasm.
Tea Party convention keynote speaker Lou Dobbs says the group gives vibrancy and life to democracy at a time when the best interests of Americans are being ignored.
There's a fundamental precept that's absolutely critical to every constitutional republic, every democracy. It's the rule of the majority. And right now, the majority in this country are being told to go to hell.
So from the ashes, Jamie Radke and the Virginia Tea Party emerge, charred, they say, by the betrayal of their lawmakers, but armed with an endless supply of everyday people, ready to hold their leaders' feet to the fire.
And they're all people who have full-time jobs or they're full-time moms, and they're involved in the Tea Party. Nobody does this for a living, which is what makes it powerful because it's coming from the heart.
And in this case,
I'll give you those other granola bars.
From the home. In Mosley, Sam Brock, CBS 6 News.
To learn more about the Virginia Tea Party, log on to WTVR.com. And we have some new information just out of Richmond Public Schools. RPS telling us that Community High School and Jeb Stuart Elementary will be closed tomorrow due to the storm damage. As you saw from our coverage, there's debris everywhere, and some of the buses will not be able to reach students who attend those schools. So Richmond Public Schools telling us that Jeb Stuart Elementary and Community High School will be closed tomorrow.
All right, it's been quite a day here across central Virginia, historical day, one that we're going to remember for a while. Tornado moving right through the metro. Let's check the time lapse from earlier. And this is our Millionaire Cam, and you can see we're pointing north here, so the storms about this time are moving through the metro area and then heading up through Mechanicsville. And on the left side of the screen, you'll see the worst part of that storm moving right on by. There goes the big supercell, and it continues to ride on through King William County, on through King and Queen County, and through the northern neck. In total, once that storm developed out in Cumberland County, it had a circulation with it for 115 miles. That's what we call a long track supercell, something that is not very common here in this part of the world. Let's head on over and get a check on what we've got as far as the storm reports and the actual tornadoes. You see a good cluster here across the metro and then up to our North Carolina County out into New Kent County, and then a cluster also down along the North Carolina-Virginia border. So far, confirmed touchdown of at least 6 tornadoes in Virginia for today. Getting a check on what we've got out there right now. These storms pretty hefty here out on the northern neck, a lot of lightning, and they trail all the way down across 64. A little bit of a break there, and then we get into a strong storm in Sussex County and tons of lightning with these storms in Brunswick and Greensville County. So Lawrenceville over to Emporia. You folks have kind of a rough night here over the next hour or two as these storms move on through. The good news is no tornadic circulations are evident at this point in time. We still have a watch, though, for southeastern parts of the state. That tornado watch continues until 2 o'clock in the morning. It's been trimmed back here, though, in the metro. Let's head on over. I want to show you a picture sent in from Matt Siegel, and this is from Mechanicsville, and this is a fence. And notice with these individual bars, the wind should move through those, but instead the wind was so powerful that it actually flattened this fence. That is really a testament to how powerful these winds were with these storms that rolled on through as the tornado passed through the Mechanicsville area. Outside right now, still a muggy night, 72 degrees with a relative humidity of 97%. There is a dense fog advisory north and west of here, and we could see some fog in the morning here as well. Temperatures to our west have fallen into the upper 60s, the rest of us in the low to mid 70s. The front will continue to move very slowly through the area tonight, and for tomorrow, the focus for storms is going to be generally over to our east and southeast, and we'll finally get a push of some cooler, drier air, and that will finally set us up for a great looking weekend. It's been a rough go here over the past day or two. Temps in the morning will start off in the upper 60s, and highs tomorrow upper 70s, but more comfortable air rolling on into the area. So a chance for a few storms in the morning, but the rain chance is about 40%. Best chances south and east of town, and a slim chance for a shower in the early afternoon. After that will be dry. So showers and storms shifting to the southeast during the day. Cooler and drier air moves in on Friday, high of only 63, and then a beautiful day Saturday after a cold start. We'll likely see some frost around once again, and a beautiful looking Halloween as well. We'll have more on sports and news coming up right after the break.
CBS 6 News, delivering more local news in high definition than any other station in Central Virginia.
A Hanover County man has quite a story to tell about his encounter with a tornado this evening.
Randy Agee was outside packing his camper in front of his home on Highlander Place in Mechanicsville when the weather took a turn for the worse. He says he spotted what he recognized as a twister at the end of his street. That's when he said he ran inside and got in the bathroom.
You could feel the whole house starting to give. I could hear the shingles coming off the roof, you know, and at that point I was just hoping the house didn't come down on me.
Child's hoping that too with the trailer. Well, when Agee came back outside, he found his camper on its side. He says his fence was also thrown into his neighbor's yard, and shingles, as you heard, torn off the roof.
Coming up in sports, why part of D'Angelo Hall can now be called a Hall of Famer.
Lane will explain next.
And what is becoming now standard practice, especially in the CAA, the last two 1AA national champions will meet up this Saturday when Richmond travels to face Villanova. Considering they're without half of their regular starters for most of this year's games due to injury, you'd understand if Richmond had slipped a bit, but that is not how their 4-3 record is being viewed on campus.
We're disappointed. You know, we're disappointed, you know, because we don't expect to be 4-3. You know, we never started the season saying, guys, if we could just get to 4-3, you know, we'll be excited about it. But we talk about not being satisfied. You know, we talk about competing every week, and we talk about doing the things that, you know, are going to put us in the opportunity to have a, you know, possibility of playing in November.
I wouldn't really call it disappointment, just because we've been through a lot this year, and the one thing that we've been used to right now is people just doubting us, doubting our ability and doubting our our backups to come and make plays. But I think we've proven with the circumstances that we've had that we can still come out and win games.
The Virginia Cavaliers are still looking for their first ACC win of the year. The bad news is they're home this Saturday against Miami. That's bad news this year because home teams are just 12-11 in ACC games. The Cavaliers themselves have already dropped 2 conference games at Scott Stadium this year.
Game up is the next game on the conference schedule, and that happens to be a very good Miami team. But the goal hasn't changed about trying to play well and trying to win, particularly when it's a home game again.
When you watch them on tape, you can't look at their record. They can run the football well. Watch them against North Carolina the week before. We played North Carolina. They was moving the ball up and down the field, but turnovers got them.
Redskins cornerback D'Angelo Hall was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week after becoming the 19th player in NFL history to intercept 4 passes in one game. Hall's feat was the first in the NFL in the last 9 years and the first for a Redskin since 1948. His jersey from that game is on its way to the Hall of Fame in Canton. We now send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Lane. And once again, Richmond Community High and Jeb Stuart Elementary closed tomorrow. The buses cannot reach those students safely.